Probably the voting hasn't started yet. I don't even know if we're nominated at this point, but we'll find out, I guess. I just wonder if it had some kind of correlation with my Google Chrome telling me, oh, snap, we can't open this page.
Internet's working fine for me over here.
I think it's just my computer.
Now we have to restart the whole show, though, because no one's heard what we said.
Really?
On Facebook.
On Facebook.
On the radio, everyone heard.
No. Jay, run it back real quick.
No, thanks for asking that.
No. Hey, you had some excitement last night. We previewed your big game, and D. Hayes came out and watched the Bucks out there. It was a Breakfast Point.
Yeah.
There you go. Home to the Stingrays.
He's a good luck charm. I need him back Thursday night. The Bucks beat the Sharks last night 34-15.
Ooh, lockdown defense.
Yeah, it was such a great game, and that was the first win that we've had all season long, and we've got one more game to go Thursday. But shout out to all of those Bucks players. They played their hearts out last night, and the victory was nice.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it.
Talk about some of your players that stood out last night, if you can remember. I know you slept.
I slept. Yeah, I did. I slept about 4 hours.
I was gonna say, I hope you slept.
You gotta think about that. Did I sleep last night?
No, Lincoln's our big guy. He's playing center, and he did
number 9.
Yeah, he did a great job against the Sharks, center as well. I mean, that was just such a good matchup last night. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're talking 7th, 8th graders, and both those kids got to be about 6 foot tall.
They're taller than me and you, that's for sure.
And so, Lincoln dominated, in the paint last night. Jake, obviously, I know me and David are talking about Jake. Man, Jake, small kid, but he's like dynamite, man. I mean, I guess dynamite comes in small packages, and he had like 16 points last night.
And he's got the mullet to go along with it as well, so that you can't even think twice about that.
If you're gonna rock the mullet, you got to be able to ball out.
Oh yeah, and he fell off his scooter Sunday, so he had like Band-Aids and gauze all over him. I mean, like he's like, Coach, I'm ready to play. These kids have more of a heart than I can ever imagine, and like
more than the Tin Man.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But I think David saw that last night, though.
They definitely had heart. Yes, sir.
And it's just pretty cool to be a part of it and be a small part of it.
Hey, you're a big part of it, man.
No, I'm not.
It's exciting.
No.
And you guys going to do the Summer League?
That's the plan. We'll see. I got to get with you on this summer thing because, man, my schedule is, ooh.
I already know.
Right, okay.
I got a lot of figuring out to do.
Okay.
But the problem is you're irreplaceable.
That is.
So
No, I'm not.
It's like, do we even do a show when you're doing your golf camps and all that?
How many days a week are we talking about here?
Well, he's got the 3 camps, and that's what, Monday through Thursday?
Tuesday through Friday.
Tuesday through Friday. Yeah, right. Hired out.
I did go an hour earlier because last year 9 o'clock, dude. It's already 90 degrees.
No, you need to start. You should probably start at like 6 a.m. To be honest,
we should
earlier, maybe like 4:30.
Yeah, right.
We'll get the lights out there for you.
Yeah, no kidding.
We'll leave the light on for you. Motel 6 Golf Club.
Yeah. Hey, not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think during camp week, Ryan, I'm gonna be able to figure that out because we're starting a little bit earlier.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to it.
I just may be out of town a little bit. Right.
Keep you here.
Yeah,
keep you here. But no, that's awesome. I'm sure the kids were fired up last night about getting that first dub.
Oh man,
you're only doing good things for what'll happen when they get back into the middle school basketball season.
Yeah, and I got to thinking about this, and they want to win, and I know winning's not everything. Me and David talked about this for quite some time last night, and I think it's my job as a coach to tell them the reasons why and how they won. Because I don't think they understood that they won, but it's like, okay, why and how did we win? Well, we won because we played great defense. We shot the ball. We passed the ball. Like, those are the reasons why we won last night.
Execution?
Execution, yeah. So, yeah, it's just cool, man. And like I said, I did get an opportunity about a minute before the game. I'm like, I'm going to call a timeout because I know, brought them back in. I'm like, guys, this is what winning's all about. Like, I want you guys to be, you guys have been great losers, but I want you guys to be great winners too. And,
act like you've been there before.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
And
that was smart. Good coaching.
Yeah. And we got a little chirp, like our kids got a little chirpy, and I think Chris kind of come up and was like, all right, guys, like, this is your warning. But they're winning, and I think I heard the word look at the scoreboard last night.
As long as you're not saying that to the kids, I think we're okay.
Well, we couldn't confirm nor deny that. No. Man, it was fun watching them though, because number 2, I believe Jake.
Yeah.
He did bring the energy. To the team, and there was a couple of steals, couple of fast breaks too, where I'm like, man, he needs to slow down for that layup, and just goes up, lays it up, and gets the bucket out of it, man. It was cool. And then also on the Sharks, they had a girl on their team.
They did.
And she was, she was pretty daggum good, man. Definitely, guys to get that shot kind of in order. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed myself. Every time I go out and watch youth sports, I'm like, man, like, to some degree, I love my pro sports and my collegiate sports, but to some degree, there's just something that's different. I can't really put my finger on what it is, but the youth sports and watching them, maybe it's the excitement, maybe it's the errors that come along with it. And when you watch pros commit errors, it's like, what are you doing? Yeah. When you watch kids commit errors, it's like, all right, like I've done that 1,002 times myself, Yeah. So, I had a great time, and shout out to the coaches who coached after you guys.
Yeah, man, no doubt, no doubt.
They were dressed to impress.
Maybe we can make some phone calls and get a guest next week.
Hey, that'd be great,
just for you.
Yeah, well, this is for David.
For both of them.
Whoa, hey! Now we're diving into what we talked about yesterday. Apparently, nobody could hear us, which is kind of bizarre.
That EAS, man, it messed everything up.
It did.
For us, it was EA Sports. It's just in the game. Another day in the mind of Jay.
That's it.
EAS was way more important than what I said. I promise you. I'm sure.
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
That is for darn sure. All right, got your basketball poll question.
Yes.
You want to grab the one that we were talking about earlier? No pun intended.
I mean, we've had some bathroom talk. I mean,
this is real talk.
This is real talk.
If you're tuning in for the first time, God bless you, because this is what we do.
Bless your heart.
This is what we do. You want me to talk about it because I'm the one that brought it to the table for the first time, the bathroom one.
Well, we did so this all began with a tush push. Which
feels like season. So long ago.
And
now we're onto the bowel push.
Yeah, right. So the tush push was, all right, do you go between the legs or do you go around? And
which I'm still baffled that there's people that go.
I know, me
from
too.
The front. I'm going to call it.
Yeah. So today is you have a dominant hand.
Absolutely, everybody does.
Yeah, everybody's got a dominant. hand.
Not everybody. I mean, the guy that you interviewed with at the he only had one.
He
but
did.
I guess I'm assuming that's the dominant one.
Yeah, they were short-handed. But
I don't know if you filled that role though.
Yeah, no, I don't know if he did or not. I didn't get the job. So, but no, have you ever used your non-dominant hand to TCB? Take care of business.
Yeah. To wipe is what you're saying. You don't have to sugarcoat it.
Okay. All right. To wipe.
You talked about a tush push wiping from the front. I don't even know what that means. This is a lot more fair than that. So the poll question is simply, when you wipe, which maybe everybody doesn't, but hopefully everybody does, have you ever used your non-dominant hand? I mean, and if you've had like a cast or something where you couldn't, I'm excluding that.
Yeah. I never have.
I can't think of a scenario where I would have been like, oh, let's go left today because I'm a right-handed person.
Yeah, I mean, I may try that.
I mean, that's how it normally goes with these polls, right? Remember when we did when do you shave, before, after, or during the shower? So I've been trying out the 3 different methods. Like I just break routine. If I feel like I'm starting to have a routine and something, like there's a couple, about a month ago, I was, hitting the gym regularly. I was like, this is getting a little too routine-y, man. So just nip it in the bud.
Yeah, just mix it up. Routines are for losers, Jay.
Yeah. I fortunately am able to have this opportunity a few times a day. There's some people that don't.
That's important.
That is very important.
It's important.
Yes.
That leads to success in a lot of other things.
It does.
Absolutely.
I agree.
All right. Poll question.
I think the dominant hand's going to win.
I feel like you make so much more of a mess.
Yeah, because the end game in this whole part of our routine, some may call it, is to be cleanly. And everybody's going to be, next time they go, they're going to be like, which hand should I? They're going to think about it this time.
That's right.
Probably something you never thought about before.
No, that's a great one.
It's like brushing your teeth with your opposite hand. You wouldn't do that, would you?
No.
No.
And I think that'll make you a better sports player as well, you know? I mean,
That's what I'm going to lead with in the next pregame speech. Hey, you guys want to be better at football? Wipe with both hands.
Yes.
Yeah, you heard it here first from Jay.
You got to be good on both sides.
You know,
This is switch wiper.
yeah, switch wiper.
I'm the Chipper Jones wiper, baby.
That's right. That's right. He's got a jersey and everything.
That's right.
I mean, and there's a lot of ambidextrous people out there. So maybe, if we got an ambidextrous listener, they, mix it up. Days that end in Y, they go with one. The other ones?
I dare somebody to call us.
I dare you.
I dare you.
850-205-6229.
Are you going to start off our Doc A segment with the poll question?
Yeah. Yeah, we do with Doc A.
Yeah.
We just have that relationship with him.
That's it.
Yeah.
I saw Aaron yesterday over at Instant Replay.
Did you?
And he's excited about you trying to stump him again.
Oh, man, he's getting stumped this week.
Yep.
Yep.
But see, now it's both guitar and your trivia question.
Yep.
2 ways to stump.
Ooh, you can sing a trivia song.
Ooh, a trivia song.
I feel like I got to go to the 18th century with Aaron. Like
18th century.
like anything 19th or 20th century, 21st century, he's good.
Before baseball was invented.
You could ask him how 18 holes of golf came about.
Ooh, we will do that.
Hey, we only got 5 minutes before the segment. You know what day it is?
Tuesday.
You know what that means?
Man,
I'll ask you a question. How about that?
All right, that'll work.
It's Jay's Golf Tip of the Week.
All right. I know you like the scenario questions because, rhythm and balance is kind of your thing. So we had a ton of rain yesterday, and a lot of these NCAA regionals in golf had a ton of rain as well. What would you tell somebody? Obviously, it's not casual water, so you can't get relief, but you're playing on a very, very wet golf course. What would you tell somebody? I mean, I think the common miss hit is when you're playing wet golf courses is to hit it a little heavy, right? Because the ground's not as stable. But what would be a piece of advice, say, for somebody playing golf today, now that it's not raining, but we had 3+ inches of rain in the last 24 hours? What would you tell them to help prevent hitting it chunky?
Ooh, yikes, Ryan. All right.
Yikes, come on. You're a golf instructor.
Yeah.
Maybe my weight a little more forward?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to get too technical by any means.
How is that technical?
Well, I don't know.
Just get your weight.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would get your weight a little forward, obviously.
Because that helps what?
Yeah, your low point in the golf swing is going to be ahead of the ball.
Yeah.
You're going to get a little steeper on the ball. You're not going to flatten out.
And you may hit it a little skinny, but
Right.
skinny for most part is better than chunky when it comes to golf.
Yes. Yeah. But, you kind of stumped me there for a minute.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You've used stump like 6 times so far in this first
Or,
segment.
let me think for a second, because I'm slow.
No. You're not
Hour
slow.
and a half
You're
to watch
just
60 minutes.
intermediate speed.
Yeah.
What if... So
Cruise control.
So I think...
That's a good nickname. the baby blue bomber with cruise control.
every inch that you grip down on that club is roughly about 10 yards taken away from... So
the 6 inches is too much.
6 inches is way too much.
You're probably on the metal or the graphite at that point. That seems like
60
exaggeration.
yards.
Yeah,
No.
dropping it off.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't hit your sandwich 60 yards, you don't hit it anywhere when you go down.
Nope.
Makes
Nope.
sense. It's fact. It's fact. All right, continue. People are actually wanting to know.
So I would probably club up, or well, I guess club down.
I know it's a tricky one. Go to a club that goes further.
Further, yeah. And I would grip
Which is
down
club
an
up in
inch.
my mind.
Yeah, club up.
So club up and grip down an inch.
Just an inch.
It's just changing that low point a little bit and giving you a little more margin of error with
Yes.
the higher club.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
Thank you. I had to think about that for a second. I mean, this is live stuff.
I know, this is live on the air.
Yeah.
As long as we don't have an EAS emergency alert system. Speaking of EAS, little PSA tonight, Jay. You've got the Region 1 final in the 4A baseball state tournament, and that is going to be played tonight still. But venue change. Arnold is hosting South Walton, and it's going to be at Public Sports Park tonight.
Okay.
A little wet over there at Arnold, so they're going to move it to Public Sports Park. So everybody that wants to come out and see it, just right there at Public Sports Park. Beautiful complex. If you've never been there, go out and support both the Arnold Marlins and the South Walton Seahawks, as this is going to be a battle with a shot to move on to the Final Four on the line. As you remember, South Walton beat Arnold High School in the district championship, and that's why Arnold had to travel to Santa Fe in the regional quarterfinal last week, is because they did not not have that district title. But first pitch, 7 p.m. right there at Public Sports Park, just down the road from here. Go out and support the Arnold Marlins and the South Walton Seahawks. As I was looking at the forecast earlier, and it continues to change, which is good. I know there's it was originally 60, 70%, but now it's gone all the way down to 40%, starting at about 3 o'clock and lasting throughout the evening. So hopefully it's just some scattered showers and they can get that game in tonight.
Throwing a wet baseball is definitely harder than playing wet golf, in my opinion. Because I've thrown a wet baseball before, and it is not any fun.
Is that why they typically have rain delays?
Yeah.
Unlike golf?
Yeah. I would.
Playing golf, I mean, some people play better golf when it's raining.
Yeah.
Because they have a tendency to focus and do all those things.
Call them mutters?
Mutters. Yep.
Yeah.
Mutters. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So you can ask Doc A which hands he wipes with right off the gate?
Yeah, are you going to... Oh, I got to ask for your permission, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you have my permission granted. Yes, sir. All right, we'll go ahead and take our break. When we get back, we're joined by Doc A. We're going to go over all the NBA playoff action, the updates, the series. A couple of them are tight, and a couple of them are getting a little close to being done, but we're moving ever so closer to the Eastern Conference Finals. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back with Doc A.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Referees, they said it's a fact, and it's a proven fact, that you get more calls at home.
Any coach complaining about the officiating over the weekend? Felt like that's what everybody was doing prior to the weekend. Rick Carlisle, okay? Now, if I'm Rick Carlisle, don't stop. Like you won, don't stop.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and a high of 78 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south at 15 miles per hour. For tonight, a variety of some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms, and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high around 81. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
You're a real estate agent, not a social media expert, but you absolutely need a professional social media strategy. Stay on top of mind, top of feed, and be in more places. Introducing SocialStackPro.com, a tool for real estate agents that inspires your content with the power of ChatGPT built right in. Try SocialStackPro.com for free. Focus on building your brand, building relationships, and post like a pro with SocialStackPro.com.
The battle for a 7th straight division crown starts right now. And the East already knows, don't sleep on the Atlanta Braves.
Swung on, belted, deep right field, gone! Home run, Michael Harris.
Tonight, Truist Park comes alive for Atlanta Braves baseball as Matt Olson and the Braves take on Dansby Swanson and the Chicago Cubs.
Coverage starts tonight at 6 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. And now...
Doctor, my eyes.
Doc A joins the Inside Drive. It's just what the doctor ordered.
Oh, doctor!
Talk to your doctor before use.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back, joined by, as we are every Tuesday, Doc A. We got the intro in there for you this time. We're excited to have you on. You may or may not know, we do a poll question here on the Inside Drive most days. I was going to say every day, but sometimes we forget. It happens. And a lot of times it has to do with bathroom talk because that's kind of Jay's thing. And I thought of one this morning, and Jay presented it to our listeners in the first segment. So he's going to start off the segment asking you our poll question for today.
All right, Doc A, put your seatbelt on. Are you ready for this one?
He's always ready.
I guess.
All right, have you ever used your non-dominant hand to wipe your tushy tush?
Good Lord.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Is this...
yes, this is real life.
Is this ESPN approved?
Hey, they haven't cut us off yet. We've been doing it for a while.
Affiliate approved.
Yeah, there you go.
Yet being the key word there, my friend.
Yeah.
It's like going up for a left-handed layup, right? I mean...
No, it's not. It's not at all like that. Because NBA or basketball players should be able to go up with left and right hands. Fairly similar.
Jay on the court's like, one of his kids goes up for a left-handed layup. Do you wipe with that hand? Don't let me see you do that again.
Oh, my goodness.
So now that I've avoided that question altogether, I'm going to answer it with a yes.
Oh.
I mean, out of necessity. I mean, you break your right hand.
Yeah. We did say that if you had a cast or something or a brace or something like that, you might have had to mix it up. But I just don't see anybody going in there for just for mixing it. Except David, he likes to break routines. He likes to change things and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that was our poll question today. So Jay really was curious on your answer. So there we go.
Thanks for
That's all we got today, Doc. That's all we got. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, the NBA playoffs are in full swing, and last night we had a couple games go on. But the Celtics now, I know the Cavs didn't have Donovan Mitchell, but they hung in there pretty good. But the Celtics are one game from heading to the Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously not the Cavs, but if they get past the Cavs, who do you think's the biggest threat for them getting to the finals from the East side?
Oh, well, our only choices are the Pacers and the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
absolutely.
Yeah, and
making it easy on you.
That one is headed back to New York for Game 5 tonight.
Yep.
So I assume the Knicks are going to hold home court. Although them losing OG Anunoby is a big deal.
Yeah,
and
that was going to be
them losing OG Anunoby would hurt them against the Celtics as well. And I think the Pacers need to play like the regular season Pacers and see how many points they can put on the board every night out. So I'm going to go with the Pacers being a bigger threat to Boston just because of their ability to score so many points and run with a team that is, I mean, they're also about as deep as the Celtics are. Both of those teams use their bench. New York doesn't really have a bench because Tom Thibodeau plays his starters 40 minutes a night. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Pacers, but and I think I have Pacers Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals in my bracket.
There you go. So that would make sense. Obviously, they're going to have to buck the trend of what's happened in the first 4 games of the series where each home team winning, they'll have to steal one of these in MSG. But like you said, I think with those 2 guys out, it opens up the door for them. That is for sure. When we talked last week, I don't know if they were down 2-0 yet or not, or maybe they were on the cusp of it. But I think at the time, the Nuggets were maybe got all the way up to 15-1 to win the NBA championship. Well, now they've tied the series up 2-2, and the away team has won every game in that. I think the Nuggets are all the way down to 7-1 or something like that. So maybe you snuck one in last week, and that certainly changed. But like I said, the away team has won every game in that one. Do you see that trend continuing, or do you think you see the Nuggets getting knocked out in this one?
I hope it continues because I want the Timberwolves to win the series. And I'm one of those, me and Charles Barkley, we were guaranteed that this series was over after the Wolves went up 2-0 in Denver. But now the Nuggets have won 2 straight, like you said, in Minnesota. The momentum has shifted to the Nuggets a little bit. Now they're going home for Game 5 tonight. They're 4.5-point favorites last I looked. I still think the Wolves have a chance to come out tonight and win a 3rd game in a row at Denver. But is that likely to happen? I doubt it. But, I was also in shock that the Wolves won those first two games so easily. And where has that defense gone, that swarming defense that we had in those first two games? So I still think Anthony Edwards has something up his sleeve for tonight. I think the Wolves will come out and play better defense than they've been playing. Somebody needs to stop Aaron Gordon. But, that series is looking a little rough for me because I was like, this is over. If you took the Nuggets to go in the West, you're toast, and now they look just fine. So who knows?
And I think a lot of people had that same thought. I mean, so did the bookmakers and all that good stuff. But, and I was going to ask you what you thought changed, but I think you've already addressed it. And the defense that they had in those first two games just seemed to go away, and they weren't putting the pressure, and the Nuggets seemed to kind of take the momentum and the play a little bit, and hopefully they can regain that aggressiveness. That is for sure. All right. I remember last week you had said he probably wasn't going to, but you think he should. Well, another big time personality by the name of Shaquille O'Neal said the same thing and said it to Jokic's face. Should SGA have been the MVP this year? What do you think? Obviously, he wasn't. Jokic was named for his third in the last 4 years, but I think SGA. Obviously, it's a regular season award, but he's having a good playoffs right now and kind of putting that team on his back.
Yeah, SGA is out playing Luka, my guy Luka, in the series. Luka's been bad. SGA has been consistent and steady, and man, that was painful to watch last night as the Mavericks just watched their 14-point lead crumble away slowly, and then fell behind slowly, and then slowly tried to catch up, and just never could do it. Yeah, I think it should have been Luka or SGA instead of Jokic, personally, but Jokic has won enough MVPs. Yeah, SGA had the best season on the best team with the best record. I mean, that's usually the formula for winning MVP.
Doc A, what is this flop thing that they changed in the NBA for 2020 for this season? Do you know anything about this flop? No?
You talking about the rules they changed before the season started this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a question. I'll give it to you.
I'm just curious.
No, I did not study the NBA rule book before I came on the show.
Okay.
I do know that the game gets called differently in the All-Star game than it does the regular season, than it does the playoffs, and they seem to be letting them play quite a bit in the playoffs. Did somebody flop and get fined, or did something happen, or are you just curious?
Yeah, just curious.
No,
I just saw
Jay
the
to ask
word.
you a question, and that's what we got.
I saw the word, and I was like, it intrigued me. I was like, what is flopping? Like, that's just
in general. You don't even know what flopping is.
I have no idea.
Man, I don't. We really gotta peel back the onion a lot further than I thought we needed to.
Bozeman now.
Just in general, is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We had a whole episode of The Office on yesterday, and one of the accountants came in to talk to Michael Scott, and he's like, clearly you can see we're in the black here. We've got a surplus of $4,500, and he's like, talk to me like I'm 7 years old.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Your mommy and daddy give you $10 to go buy ice cream, and you have $1 left over. He's like, oh, and that's sort of where we are with flopping, I think.
Yeah.
So a flop is when a defensive player fakes that they got hit in the chest by a shoulder, and they throw themselves to the floor, and
typically when trying to take a charge, and you exaggerate it, you embellish it, it's a flop.
Sort of
like a dead fish flopping, or almost a dead fish flopping in the air. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, and sort of like watching soccer. The guy gets hit and his ankle's destroyed, and they spray some spray on it. And he gets up and runs away.
That's magic spray out there. Yeah.
They had an anti-flopping rule last year where. If you flop a hit, then you can be called for the foul. You can be fined or suspended or whatever. So they're just trying to stop people from flopping and acting out there on the court.
Yeah,
I got you.
Great question.
Thank you.
Great question.
Thank you.
That would have been a good one to start the year. Hey,
well, I wanted to see preseason, postseason.
Yeah, has things changed?
Has things changed?
Yeah, they have. Some may call that the LeBron rule as well.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, what do you say? It takes you an hour and a half to watch 60 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah, you're just catching up.
Yep.
That's all. That's all. Well, we got 2 games tonight, both games tied 2-2. We've talked about them. We got the Pacers and the Knicks, and we got the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. Jay's got to get out his phone and get some prop bets and some thoughts you think on both of these games tonight. We'll start, I know we talked about it a little bit, but start with the Pacers and the Knicks. Who do you think comes out on top in that one? Does the trend stay? Does it break? Right now, New York is favored by 1.5. Total is 216.5. And the 2 gentlemen you mentioned earlier, they're not playing tonight as well, right?
The 2 gentlemen.
The guys for the Knicks.
OG Anunoby is out. He's one guy. He's one person. And then I think Josh Hart might be banged up, but he's going to play. Jalen Brunson's going to play.
Yeah.
I think I'm taking the Pacers and the points, mainly because I'm a Pacers homer and also because the Pacers put Aaron Nesmith on Jalen Brunson halfway through this series, and it worked. He's a much better choice for someone to guard Jalen Brunson and try to contain him. And then I think the over-under for points for Obi Toppin tonight is like 8.5.
Ooh.
He's going to score. He's going to score in double digits. So, if I know in Prize Picks, his more or less is set at 8.5. So if I want to play that, I'm going more points than 8.5 for sure. And then I also like Nikola Jokic going for more than 50.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Same with Jalen Brunson going for more than 43.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
There you go, Jay. You got those.
And then if I was going to bet the Wolves Nuggets, which I am kind of in stay away mode, I just said on my podcast I was taking the Wolves just because I'm going to go down with that ship. I'll take the Wolves. I guess I'm taking both road teams, which has worked out well in these series so far, but I'm afraid that the end is nigh.
Do you think each team that wins the game tonight goes on to win the series regardless of who it is?
Generally speaking, in a tied series, the Game 5 winner almost always wins. It's like 80% of the time. Ooh. So, yes, whoever wins these games tonight will probably win the series.
There you go. There you go.
If they don't, it'll be a Game 7 fluke.
That makes sense. It'd be exciting to see some Game 7s for the. We've had one Game 7 so far in the NBA. I paid more attention to the NHL than I have the NBA.
Yeah, and I think it was a dog. The Game 7 was a
Magic and Cavs, I think.
Yes, Magic and Cavs. That's right. Nailed it, David. That's why he's got his own show too, there, Jay.
Yes, sir.
But and then tomorrow night's games. Obviously, we won't talk to you then. Do you think Boston closes out the series against the Cavs at home?
Yes.
15.5 points there, Jay.
Yikes.
You taking it or you leaving it?
15.5 is a lot in a post game.
It's 15.5
right now. Yeah, according to ESPN Bet. But I've also got smoked by the Cavs in earlier where it was more than that, and they lost by more than that. So they did do well. I took them with 8.5 last night, though, and they think they lost by 7. So that was close. But yeah, 15.5 at home tomorrow night.
Ooh.
205.5 total, Jay.
Sounds like a winner.
What?
Both. Doing the over
and taking Boston minus 15.5?
Yes, sir.
Or taking the Cavs plus 15.5?
Taking the Cavs plus 15.5.
Which would make sense to parlay that with the over because you're betting more points are going to be scored.
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Other series that's tied 2-2. The Mavs at the Thunder tomorrow night, 8:30 here in the Central Time Zone. OKC get that one done at home, or does Luka come alive?
Man, Luka's been bad. 4 straight sub-30-point games. Not shooting well, bunch of turnovers, missed a key free throw last night. That game was just excruciating to sit and watch as a Mavericks fan. I still think the Mavs are going to win that series. They're going to have to win. They're going to have to win Game 5 at OKC, or that one will go 7, or win a Game 7 next Sunday. So I'm going to. I still think the Mavericks are going to win that series. So if that means they're winning Game 5, so be it.
Yeah,
I'll take another road dog at home.
Hey.
Or another road dog on the road.
Yeah, road dog on the road. They seem to have been paying off pretty well so far, these playoffs. It's been very trendy this year, that's for sure. Last but not least, does Caitlin Clark go 1-0 tonight in her WNBA debut?
WNBA debut. Yeah, she's going to go off tonight. I'm not in Indianapolis. My friends, I'm from there, and all my friends still live there, and they're all talking to me about Caitlin Clark all the time. And my dad is suddenly now a Caitlin Clark expert. He's like posting on Facebook about her all the time, and I'm like, since when do you even you don't even follow men's basketball? When did you start following women's basketball? Like, I don't know. I mean, that's how transcendent she is. She is taking over the world. She's sort of like creeping too far into the mainstream, like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and Deion Sanders. Like, there's only so much Caitlin Clark hype one can take, but I'll take it for the first game. I think she's going to light it up. She's going to dazzle people. Pacers are going to win. People in Indy are going to be all fired up, and this is the year of Caitlin Clark.
There you go. Well, Doc A, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you playing along with Jay and his poll question, as always. And our listeners, they always find that poll question right on the Facebook feed, live right on that image. Doc, we appreciate your time. Enjoy the games tonight, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
I would not have my daughter call me Mike.
Right.
She calls me Dad.
But your nephew says Uncle Michael.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
Are you distinguishing between the Mike and the Michael?
No, I'm saying one's using your first name and one's not.
She calls me Dad.
Of course she calls you Dad.
You want her to call me Father Michael?
Papa Mike. Papa Mike.
What am I, a priest?
Greeny. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
1, 2. I'm in love with a man named Rudy. I'm okay with that. He knows exactly what I want. Keeps me coming back. He cooks breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me. Does the dishes too. I'm in love with a man named Rudy. Last name Barbecue. It sure is easy to fall in love with Rudy's tasty oak smoked barbecue.
Next in line.
You owe the IRS back taxes, and dealing with the IRS stresses you out. Fortunately, IRS Problem Relief can help you resolve back taxes and represent you to the IRS so you don't have to face them alone. Last year, IRS Problem Relief saved 25 clients drowning in tax debt. IRS Problem Relief is a local company right here in Panama City, not some 800 number where you can never talk to the same person twice. Put those problems behind you so you can focus on moving forward. Call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief at 850-784-8176. For a free consultation, call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief, 850-784-8176, or visit irsproblemrelief.com.
It's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves can't pull off the sweep against the Mets as New York salvages the final game of the series by a final score of 4-3. I'm Wiley Ballard, and this is your Atlanta Braves Radio Network morning update.
Tickets for the Braves 2024 season are going fast. This season is jam-packed with great matchups. Get your tickets at braves.com/tickets.
Bryce Elder gave the Braves another good start, working 5 1/3 innings, giving up just 2 runs, while Marcell Ozuna picked up a couple of RBI to put his season total at a Major League best 40, but ultimately was not enough, as the New York Mets got a walk-off 2-run homer from Brandon Nimmo in his only at-bat of the game. The Mets pick up just their 3rd win against the NL East this year. They are now 19-20. Meanwhile, the Braves fall to 24-13. Tonight, the Braves will host the Chicago Cubs to begin the first of a 3-game set. First pitch, 7:20 Eastern, 6:20 Central. Atlanta will have Reynaldo Lopez on the mound, a 2.11 record, a 1.53 ERA, while the Cubs send the Major League's leader in ERA, Shota Imanaga, a 5-0 record, a 1.08 ERA. We'll have coverage beginning at 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central with our Ford leadoff show, followed by first pitch at 7:20 Eastern, 6:20 Central. You can keep it locked right here all season long on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Do you suffer from political talk radio fatigue?
We know that under the 99% rate, the U.S. economy is
Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I originally thought you found something where they changed the flop rule with your Doc A question, but then we quickly learned you were just trying to find out what a flop was.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know
coach
how...
basketball?
Yeah.
No, just making sure.
Well,
not a lot of flops going on in middle school basketball, huh? Getting called.
No, I didn't see no flopping at all last night. I saw him battling down low, though.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because who did you say number 9 was again?
Lincoln.
Lincoln, yeah. He was doing a good job because their big man, I believe he was number 10. He had the moves, but then, well, not y'all's other big guy, the guy with the different colored shoes.
Yeah.
The guy on the Sharks, I believe his number was number 10.
Yeah.
He was playing down low. Lincoln was battling against him. And he had the moves, but there was just a couple of times where he was just kind of tossing it up there a little bit. But yeah, Easton did a good job as the floor general. He's a pretty big fella to be running that point.
He is.
You can tell he's got it.
Now, and we still won last night, but we traveled all the way to Walton County.
That's just the thing with youth basketball. I was thinking kudos to the refs because they were hitting just about every single travel. And y'all still scored 34 points.
I know, right? Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. It's a tough one, especially because I've seen some basketball leagues, like with the real young kids, they don't even call travel.
Yeah.
Right.
But then I don't like that because it encourages them to learn to play the game where you're not dribbling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it would be pretty chaotic, and I think there's a gray area there when it comes to the young ones because, yes, it is very, very hard to dribble in basketball at a young age.
Right.
Even at some older ages. But it's just like, when you're learning the sport and, like, then you go to the next league where you can't, and it's like there's not a transition, so to speak. It just goes from you can just pick up the ball and walk, or you have to dribble it all the way.
Yeah,
and that's a tough one.
They should just call that age group of basketball travel ball.
Yeah, it should be like Ooh, I like that.
But my thing is with that is I don't know because I liken it to baseball. Like
we ball and
you play with a tee, then you go to coach pitch, then but then again. Dribbling is one of the foremost fundamentals that you got to learn in the game. So, but I mean, I had 4th and 5th graders. So watching but even on the 4th and 5th graders, though, you got a lot of them that they get so excited when they get the ball, and it's like time just goes in fast. It's like they're going back to the future.
Their mind is just going crazy.
And I know how it was when I was a kid, and you just gotta. It takes a while, and then one day that thing kind of clicks for you. And it slows down, but until then you're just you're just living fast forward.
Yeah, you panic.
And isn't that crazy though? I'm teaching people to slow down their tempo in golf like all the time. It's almost the same in basketball. It's like you got to almost kind of process things and
rhythm and balance and patience.
Rhythm, balance, and patience.
RBP.
Yep.
That would be a good T-shirt too, man. RBP.
Yeah.
And people would be like, what does that mean?
Just make sure you put the P, not the F.
Resting.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Resting person.
You got anything else today?
What you want to talk about?
Whatever. No.
What you got on the list?
Who'd you pick last night in the NHL games? 'Cause I was gonna ask you again, but I didn't think you'd remember because I was gonna bet whoever you picked.
He probably don't know who won, so this is perfect.
Exactly.
I did go with the Oilers. I do remember.
Well, they weren't playing last night.
That crystal book is murky.
Yeah. You had the Rangers and the Hurricanes, and you had the Stars and the Avalanche.
Man, I can't remember.
Who would you have picked now?
The Rangers, and I think I picked the Avalanche.
There you go, 0 for 2.
See, I thought you picked the Stars last night, but you did. I think you wavered.
I did.
I think you pivoted, but no, both blowouts last night.
Oof.
It's just a tough night. The Rangers there, Igor Shesterkin. The first period was a great period, and then second period was only 1-0 going into the third, and then the Hurricanes just opened up the floodgates and won that one 4-1. And your Dallas Stars, I say yours because you've been cheering for them, they won 5-1 in their game, so they take a 3-1 series lead back home to Dallas with a chance to go to the Western Conference Finals on the line. Now the New York Rangers, they won 7 straight games to open up the playoffs. They had a 3-0 lead in the series. They were at home last night in Madison Square Garden. You just thought that they were going to get it done and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, but the Hurricanes said no. They were down 1-0 going into the third, scored 4 goals. They're now 3-2 in that series, going back home to Carolina. Do you think that the Rangers can let this record that they tied slip away and the Hurricanes do something that very, very few teams in any sport can do when it comes to overcoming a 3-0 series deficit in a 7-game series?
The momentum will change back to the Rangers game 7. So
Hurricanes
prediction.
get it in game 6, tie up the series 3-3. Rangers go home to MSG and win it in 7.
Because it's like momentum.
The big Mo.
The
Absolutely.
big Mo. And that's just my confident prediction for game 7. And confident prediction.
So all your other predictions were not confident?
I feel, well, yeah, they were.
Okay,
Yeah.
so extra confident.
Extra confident.
Well, in the NHL, 210 times, this is as of May 9th, 2024, has a team faced a 3-0 deficit in a best-of-7 series. Do you know how many times that has been overcame?
You're about to tell me a goose egg.
No. Nope.
2 times.
No. Your boy behind the glass is absolutely correct.
4.
4 times, which is only 2% of the time. In the 1942 Stanley Cup Finals, which you remember very well.
Yeah.
Your Toronto Maple Leafs, the only time in the Stanley Cup Finals that comeback was completed at home. They were down 3-0 to the Detroit Red Wings, came back and won that one 4-3. 1975 in the quarterfinals, the New York Islanders were down in that series 3-0 to the Pittsburgh Penguins, came back and won that one. They won 8 games while facing elimination in that playoff year. That's pretty darn impressive.
Imagine being the fan watching that. You're just like, oh my God.
Man, on that tube TV where Jay was the remote control.
Right.
We all had to be that at one time. Not
I know.
anymore. Not anymore.
No,
bring
now
that
your
back.
phone can be the remote.
Yep. The 2010 Eastern Conference Finals. I know Caveman Rick loves this one. That was in the chance to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. The Flyers were down 3-0 in that one, and the Boston Bruins came back and won that series. And they also overcame a 3-0 goal deficit in that Game 7 as well. So Boston did it. And then the only other time it's been done in NHL history was the 2014 Western Conference Finals. Los Angeles Kings were down 3-0 to San Jose in that one, and the Kings came back and won that one, and they won 3 of the Game 7s in that playoff year, and they hold the record for most elimination games won in a single playoff year for a Stanley Cup champion, and that was 7. Do you know who they beat in the 2014 Stanley Cup? No, that was
2010.
2012. They beat the Devils, I think. We lost to the Kings. That sucked. We hadn't been there in so long. And then we made it. That was the year Ryan was born. I was putting a Marty Brodeur jersey on her while she was in her crib. Not on her, but just like as a blanket.
That's cool. That's cool.
There's obviously been a lot of other unsuccessful comebacks. And then Major League Baseball, you should know this one?
Yeah.
Question mark. It's only been done one time.
I feel like
and
there's
fairly recent. You know, in the 21st century, as you referenced, I was going to ask you which centuries, like what years were the 18th century, but I was going to skip that. One time, and it's been in the 21st century, that a team has overcame a 3-0 deficit to win the series. They also broke a curse. That actually makes it really easy. Really easy. For some of us.
The Braves or the Mets?
It's neither one of them.
What curse did the Braves or the Mets got? Outside of the Mets spending too much money and nothing showing for it.
It was the 2004 American League Championship Series. And
Yankees.
this team, yes, you're getting there.
I knew it was either Mets or Yankees.
No, that's not it.
That's
the
not
Yankees were involved in it, yes. But who was the team that overcame the 3-0 series deficit? They went on to win the World Series for the first time since 1918 and breaking the Buckner curse, if I'm correct in saying that name.
Bambino.
The Bambino curse, yeah.
Buckner just helped to keep on rolling.
Yeah, it went through his legs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Boston Red Sox.
Oh, man, okay.
I mean, I couldn't give you any more clues on that one.
Once you went to American League, I was like, oh, that's,
Yep.
Because it was really between the Cubs and the Red Sox, like, as once you brought up curse, and then.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They trailed. Boston trailed in the 9th inning of Game 4 before tying the game up and eventually winning in the 12th inning. They also trailed by 2 runs in the 8th inning of Game 5 before tying the game in that inning and eventually winning in the 14th inning. And then Boston went on to sweep the Cardinals in 4 games in the World Series to end, I think, at that time, the longest drought in World Series action.
That
there
was 2014?
No, 2004.
4, okay.
20 years ago.
I was about to say, it felt like a lot longer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
The 14th inning is what I mentioned in that one
gotcha.
game. And then they're outside of the MLB. Let's see, the NBA. The NBA, to date, there has never been a successful comeback from a 3-0 series in the NBA. 154 times that it's been done. Only 4 of them have forced a Game 7. Only 4 of them have forced a Game 7, and they all went on to lose.
What about the NFL, Jay? How many 3-0 series has the NFL had?
I feel like this is a trick question.
I don't know. You tell me.
Say that again.
Like a 3-0 series in the NFL for the Super Bowl, how many times has that been? How many times has a team came back in the Super Bowl after being down 3 Super Bowls to none?
Like that. I mean, I know those Falcons, man. They were so close back years ago. Yeah.
Stick with what your initial thought was.
What?
It's a trick question.
Yeah.
There's no series in
one game.
Yeah.
I kind of figured. I'm dumb, but I'm not plumb dumb.
No.
What do you say? You were born. What's that phrase you like to use?
Born
born
at night, not last night.
That's right. Yeah.
Born on second. There you go.
Born on second.
So that leads me back. Do you think the Rangers, we only got about a minute left, do you think the Rangers blow this and let only the 5th time? It seems to happen more in hockey. It doesn't seem. It happens more in hockey than any other sport, with Major League Baseball being the only other sport that it's had it happen, and it's only happened one time. Do you think the Rangers let this one slip away?
No, I think
you already said it. Game 7.
Yeah, Game 7, and the Rangers win in Game 7. I think that's the key there.
Hey,
yeah,
we'll see.
That is the first game that has been a multi-goal win.
Yeah,
everything
other
else
game,
been one. Yeah, 1 goal. So
yeah, and at home too. I just figured they'd get it done last night.
Me too. Right. When I saw what was it, 5-1, 4-1,
4-1.
Yeah,
but all 4 of the Hurricanes goals were scored in the 3rd.
Yeah. And that's the first time I think on Shesterkin that he's given up 3 in 1 period or 3 in the 3rd.
Yep.
I can't see that being a trend for the rest of the series. I could see the Rangers closing out in 6, but I would love to see a Game 7.
Oh, Game 7 in that series at MSG would be awesome.
Oh my gosh,
no doubt about it. And if they, tomorrow night they get it done, we may have that happen, Jay.
Yeah,
we'll have to. Maybe you'll have to watch that one.
More likely to go to 7: Dallas and Colorado, or Carolina and the Rangers. Wait, no, Dallas and Colorado's 3-1.
Yeah,
so
I would
let's
say
go Edmonton, Vancouver. How about that?
I think that's the one that it's kind of gone back and forth, and a lot of high-scoring games as well. So I would say the Canucks and the Oilers Game 7 probably the best chance.
That'll be a good one too, bro.
Anytime there's a Game 7 and it's on ice, it's a good time. That is for sure. But you are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest. When we get back, it'll be time for the Afternoon Delight debrief. Can't wait to see what Jay has for us today. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
AC is up next.
You see, you got to keep winning those Patriots before every day to make him happy. But here's the thing. There's losers every single day that come in. We hate Jim. We hate this. We hate AC. Well, if you hate us so much, why don't you do something about it?
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and a high of 78 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south at 15 miles per hour. For tonight, a variety of some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high around 81. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover the most convenient way to buy men's clothing. Pierce Bespoke. Whether it's custom or casual, they come to you to take the hassle out of shopping. If buying off the rack doesn't work for you, let Pierce Bespoke show you how to get the perfect fit. Call Pierce Bespoke to schedule your appointment. 251-278-8270. That's 251-278-8270.
You know a spot, but not just a spot. The spot. Actually, with the 2023 Nissan Frontier, you know a bunch of them. But the key to these great spots? Being able to reach them in the first place. Your spot is out there. Find your Frontier in the 2023 Nissan Frontier with standard 310 horsepower, advanced tech, and 281 pound-feet of torque.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Battle for a 7th straight division crown starts right now. And the East already knows, don't sleep on the Atlanta Braves.
Swung on, belted, deep right field, gone! Home run, Michael Harris.
Tonight, Truist Park comes alive for Atlanta Braves baseball as Matt Olson and the Braves take on Dansby Swanson and the Chicago Cubs.
Coverage starts tonight at 6 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, Farm to Radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to Inside Drive Live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, we're settled down there. You threw me for a loop back there behind the glass.
There's no telling.
That was good.
My back's turned to David Hayes all the time.
Except yesterday when you said that crazy thing. You were talking to David.
Yeah.
Me, bro.
Yeah, I know. And if you offend David, that's like, you said something ridiculous at that point.
Assalamu alaikum.
That's right.
My goal is to watch that before Monday.
Please.
I need to. It's been a long time, and I feel like I have not watched it anywhere near as many times as you have.
Oh, no.
But just think about, like, the segments that will take place because of all three of us just talking about Varsity Blues.
Oh, man. That's sports related?
It is.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is still relatable in this day and age, but we'll figure it out.
It is relatable.
Yeah, it's all relatable.
Yeah.
What station are we on here?
ESPN.
Northwest Florida, 104.3 in Panama City, City Beach, 101.9. You're going to have to do it just once. Like once. Bring us in or take us out. Like every time I ask you to, you just say, no, you got this.
He about took us out yesterday.
You sound like my dad. My dad's like, son, if you don't behave, I'm the one that brought you in this world. I'll take you out.
I didn't say that, but I mean, we can if we want to start going down that road.
I brought you onto this show. I can take you off.
It's like, yes, thank you. I've been trying to do this whole time.
Which hyperactive. Yeah, that's why he's playing this shtick. Huh?
Yeah. He's like, they still haven't figured it out. They still haven't kicked me off yet. It's not working. I need to up the antics here on the Inside Drive. It would have worked yesterday had we not had the EAS.
Thank you,
We
EAS.
probably wouldn't even be here today.
I know.
Got a letter and a strongly worded thing, and we would have been like, stop talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But yes, 104.3 and 104.3 Panama City. He threw me off right off the get-go. Usually he gives me the nice, no, I like it. Keeps me on my toes. But 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, Facebook, X, YouTube, ESPN Northwest Florida. Download the free mobile app. Where, Jay?
Google Play or Apple Store.
There you go, depending on if you have an iPhone or an Android. That one, what do you got to search?
104.3 ESPN.
And it comes right up.
Yeah.
If you If you just search ESPN Northwest Florida, you might have to scroll a little bit. But if you get that 104.3, boom, comes up right there. And you can download it and just hit the play button anywhere you've got an internet connection and listen to us, take us on the road, all that good stuff. You can also go to ESPNPC.com or you can check out our TikTok page, Inside.Drive. Flop. What a flop there. I heard it. I heard him hit the
I heard the flop too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one, too, because he got the buckets.
Yeah.
You got to flip the flop.
That's right. Yep. That's right. But also got to thank our studio sponsor, Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor. They've got a big event coming up on Friday, and that is the Bill Kramer GMC is doing the Bill Kramer GM Electrified event. This is Friday, May 17th. It's going to be from 4 to 6 p.m. A free dinner is provided. We're thrilled to showcase the latest Chevrolet EV models and share the excitement about the future of electric vehicles. Experience firsthand the stunning interiors and eye-catching exteriors of these showstoppers. Discover the power, efficiency, and innovation behind electric driving. Plus, indulge in delicious bites catered by K-Hall's Deli. The first 30 guests will receive a free plate, so make sure you arrive early to claim yours. Don't miss out on this opportunity to explore the future of automotive technology and enjoy a fun-filled evening with the community. See you there. Again, that's this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. It's the electrifying event at Bill Kramer GM. Where, Jay?
At the corner of 23rd and Frankfurt Avenue.
There you go. You can also find Kramer Marine and Outdoor there. They got Sundance, Spider,
Seabourn,
and
Skeeter.
Look at you. You got 2 out of the 4. Because I didn't have my sheets not loaded. I'm proud of you.
That's a 500 batting average, brother.
Yes,
That's
sir.
pretty good.
I'll
That's
take it.
pretty good. But yeah, right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street, lots of new boats, used boats. You can check out all their inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. If you need to get your boat back out on the water, the next couple of days look to be nice. Might get some rain later in the week, but you got to have your boat ready to go when the time comes, and they'll come out and fix it for you. If they can't do it there, they'll tow it in. Again, that's KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. Jay, you ready? You want me to go first, or did you find one?
I've been searching and searching.
Well, I searched for about 20 seconds and found a bunch, so
Did you?
I don't know where you're looking.
ShepherdExpress.com.
ShepherdExpress.com.
Whatever that is.
I don't know.
We gotta hear this.
Are they selling sheep?
Well, no,
Sheeple.
the headline is the most chatty criminal ever. Chatty criminal.
All right, roll with it.
Last September, Stephanie Langley, 55, of England.
Across the pond.
As
pond. You would say.
This is crazy. I haven't even read all this. I guess
that's the beauty of when we read these.
Let's see. Stepped outside the Hare and Hound pub and stabbed her former brother-in-law.
Was she drinking warm beer?
Matthew Bryant to death.
That was probably hot beer.
To death?
Yeah.
That probably wasn't beer.
Man.
It was on that ayahuasca or something.
She was convicted on May 1st, the BBC reported. Although Langley claimed in court that she had never intended to hurt her victim, she started the violent evening by telling pub goers, "Get a drink while he's still alive."
Oh, she premeditated this too?
Yeah.
That's murder one over here.
Then she told Bryant, the former brother-in-law, "You're dead tonight." After she stabbed him 3 times, witnesses heard Langley say, "I hope he's dead." She told arresting officers.
This is at the pub? She's doing this
Yes.
at the pub?
And everybody's like, okay.
Okay.
Isn't that like a thing if you don't help as a citizen?
Oh, citizen's arrest, citizen arrest.
We're all arresting ourselves.
Remember the Seinfeld episode? Anyway, go.
She told arresting officers she had killed him, was glad she had killed him, and was happy to go to jail for it. She'll be sentenced at a future hearing, probably to life. That's crazy.
I mean, what a show that you don't want to watch.
Sounds terrifying.
Anyways.
Golly, I would have left as soon as she would have like, hey, get him drinks while he's still alive. All right, I've had enough of this tonight.
It's
We'll
been a
see
good
you
night.
later.
That's my key to take out the door.
Yeah, because I don't want to be no accessory of watching or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't even want to have to go to no investigations.
Yep.
Let me out of here.
Yeah. Jeez. Anyways, ShepherdExpress.com. I just come up on it like that.
They just came up on ShepherdExpress.com.
Come up on it.
I just figured they were trying to get people for the sheep. It's like a dating site for
For German Shepherd?
No.
For German
What? No.
For shepherds.
Shepherds.
Oh, for shepherds.
Yes.
Okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
you know,
Are
like
you busy
farmers
looking
only.
for the
But-
99th sheep.
Yeah. Let us take care of the dating for you at
Okay.
shepherdsonly.com. See, we just came up with another idea.
Every match comes with a free shepherd's pie.
That's it. That's it. And a sheep. Ugh. Anyway, this one's from APnews.com. It's from a couple days ago. The title is Man Says His Emotional Support Alligator, known for its big social media audience, has gone missing. Brunswick, Georgia. I know a few people actually live in Brunswick, Georgia.
So this ain't the guy who got in trouble for not having a good alligator enclosure that we talked about earlier. Okay.
Nope. Separate.
All right.
From what I can tell.
And look, there's big gators in Brunswick, Georgia, just FYI.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
That Georgia coast, South Carolina coast, that whole coast over there, that's where all the big gators are.
I would imagine anywhere there's little gators, there's big gators somewhere.
That's right.
Typically.
Yeah.
Unless they're all making them emotional support gators, then I don't know. But anyway, he's a Pennsylvania man who credits an alligator named Wally for helping relieve his depression for nearly a decade, says he is searching for the reptile after it went missing during a vacation to the coast of Georgia. Two things. One, he took his alligator on vacation. I get it. It's emotional support alligator. And, kudos to the alligator for getting him past, what he was dealing with.
For putting up with it, yeah.
Are you for real, Clark?
No, this is from the internet, so it's true.
I mean, you pull up so it's true. You pull up to the hotel and you got your alligator on a leash.
That's one way to keep people away from you.
Yeah.
How big is this gator? Does it say?
We're getting there.
Okay.
All right. I've only read the first paragraph. Joey Henney has thousands of social media social media users following his page devoted to Wally, the cold-blooded companion that he calls his emotional support alligator. He has posted photos and videos online of people petting the 5.5-foot alligator like a dog or hugging it like a teddy bear. Wally's popularity soared to new heights last year when the gator was denied entry to guess where? A Philadelphia Phillies game. Now Haney has said he is distraught after Wally vanished while accompanying him on an April vacation to Brunswick, Georgia, a port city 70 miles south of Savannah. He said he suspects someone stole Wally from the fenced outdoor enclosure where Wally spent the night on April 21st. In social media posts, Henny said pranksters left Wally outside the home of someone who called the authorities, resulting in his alligator being trapped and released into the wild. We need all the help we can get to bring my baby back, Haney said in a tearful video posted on TikTok. Please, we need your help. Haney said he didn't have time to talk when the Associated Press reached to him by phone Wednesday morning. He did not immediately return follow-up messages. The man from Jonestown, Pennsylvania has previously said he obtained Wally in 2015 after the gator was rescued in Florida at the age of 14 months. Haney told the Philadelphia Inquirer in 2019 that Wally helped alleviate depression following the deaths of several close friends. He said a doctor treating his depression had endorsed Wally's status as an emotional support animal. He has never tried to bite no one, Haney told the newspaper.
Are you sure this is not a University of Florida fan acting?
I mean, the article still goes on. You want me to divulge anymore, or just wrap this one up?
No, I mean, this is intriguing.
Yeah, he filed police reports about the missing alligator in Brunswick and the surrounding Glenn County, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
According to spokespersons for the city and the county police departments, the Georgia Department of Natural Resources confirmed that someone in the Brunswick area reported a nuisance alligator on April 21st, the day Haney said Wally went missing, and a licensed trapper was dispatched to capture it. The agency said in a statement that the gator was released in a remote location, but stressed that he didn't know if the reptile was Wally. It is legal in Georgia to keep alligators without a special license or permit, said
I'm moving to Georgia today.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's illegal.
Oh, it's illegal.
Illegal.
I think
you don't want to. It's another reason why you don't go to Georgia.
Find me a daggum state where it's legal at there. How did this whole thing how do you
a lot of questions.
Sign up for, because don't you have to have some sort of certificate or whatnot to claim something as an emotional support animal?
Well, they said the doctor signed off on it.
Okay, does the gator walk around with a muzzle?
I'm not using that doctor.
He's got one of the vests.
Oh, he's got a vest.
Yeah.
A harness.
I don't know.
My goodness.
There's a lot more to that. Nah, it just goes on to talk about that statewide officials in neighboring Florida, home to an estimated 1.3 million alligators, have recorded more than 450 cases of unprovoked alligators biting humans since 1948.
Makes sense.
Really
food,
not that
right?
many.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Logically thinking.
Only 6 of them have been fatal since 2014.
But that's unprovoked, though, right? Yeah.
True story.
Mama said that they have. Mama
angry,
said
yeah.
they're ornery because they got all them teepees and no toothbrush.
That's it.
And that does not qualify for a emotional support.
Well, you know what this gentleman did?
What's that?
He started brushing that alligator's teeth right off the get-go. 14 months old is when he got this alligator.
Oh, I
so
got
yeah,
you.
they grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in a serious note, I could actually see why the guy would be so upset. I mean, if that helped him out, then it's an alligator, then yeah.
I want to get a kangaroo emotional support animal, so anytime I start talking stupid or woe is me, it just hits me right in the mouth. All right, wake up, boy.
It's a good one, though.
That is a good one.
Emotional support alligator. Lost. Hashtag bring Wally home.
Go get a guinea pig.
Where's Wally?
Yeah. Bring back Steve Irwin. He's got to go find Wally.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe is it his daughter, his son or
Son.
his son that's
yeah.
kept up the legacy going?
I think the whole family kind of does it, but becoming the most popular is the son. So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Very cool.
You got another one or no? It's okay if you don't, because I do.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is from, you know how when you're on Instagram, you just get served with stuff. I think because I've gotten several stories off of Instagram recently, I keep getting served with more crazy
yeah, I
stuff.
know they keep on hitting me with papers. I'm like, I haven't got no kids.
Oh, goodness gracious. This is I don't even know what the name of this Instagram account is. I just came across it from April 25th. It said, according to police, Tatsuko Horikawa had been living in a closet for over 1 year. One day, when the man left, she walked through his front door, which had been left unlocked. From then on, she would take small amounts of food from the kitchen and even take showers. When the man noticed food missing, he set up cameras to catch what he thought was someone robbing him. The woman had placed a small bed mattress into an enclosed shelf area inside the closet to sleep on, and when police searched the apartment, they found her curled up in the closet. We searched the house, checking everywhere someone could possibly hide. When we slid open the shelf closet, there she was, nervously curled up on her side, said Hiroka Ituki, a police spokesman. The woman was described by police as neat and clean, and she was charged for trespassing. Did I mention how long this was? Or
A year.
Yeah, okay. I didn't realize if I said that or not.
A closet?
Yeah, and there's a video of her getting out of this upper closet, going down, eating a little bit of food, and, you know, he's just in there. So he had no idea this person was in his house for a year.
Oh, my God.
We were talking about the sign, you know, living over the grocery store, and then so it just keeps coming to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. That blows my mind.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy.
That someone's in your house for a year and you have no clue.
This seems like a great scary movie plot.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Different ending.
You better,
than how that one ended.
Yeah.
You gotta have
It
fun.
would have been like Jay's story. That's how it would have ended.
Yeah.
Would have been good.
I mean, back in the day, if something like that happened, I'm talking like back in the day, you know, 1700s or so, someone's
Oh, yeah, that's
living in
back in
your
the day, yeah.
closet, and then you probably would kill them publicly in a pub.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Take him to the town square or her. Just depends.
I just need
Put him in the
sunlight.
guillotine.
Yeah.
I need sunlight. Like I can't even imagine being in a closet for like a full day, much less a year. I mean,
I'm right there with you. I don't know.
No, I don't think she's like. I think when he wasn't in the house, she was.
Okay. I got
because
you.
she took showers and other things,
Right.
and had to use the potty.
Yeah.
Because I think he would have noticed if.
Oh, well, yeah.
But she might have used her non-dominant hand, so maybe he didn't notice.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's easier for women to use their non-dominant hand.
Ooh.
But it depends on what we're talking about, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Right.
That adds a whole nother.
Chime in.
That adds a whole nother wrinkle into the poll question. That is for sure.
Ooh, a wrinkle.
Yeah, but that's not ours. That's the other one. Okay. I was like, whoop, there it is. There's the answer. We got it. All right, I got one more, Jay. This is from Barstool Sports. This is actually from the 12th. Guinness World Record for oldest skydiver is a Battle of the Titans. I'm not sure if anybody else has been keeping tabs on the world of competitive old people record-setting skydiving, but it's been a Battle of the Titans over the past few years. In one corner, you have the current record holder, 106-year-old American hero Alfred Al Blaschke, Alf originally earned the title of world's oldest skydiver back in 2020 at age 103, right in the height of COVID, whereas most olds were coupled up at home playing Chinese checkers in hazmat suits. Alf was out taking the world by the plummeting towards the ground with a man strapped on his back, exceeding speeds of 100 miles an hour. As an inspiration to all of us, but his record was short-lived. Blaschke held on to his crown for a mere 2 years. Statistically speaking, that should have been a plenty long enough for him to go out on top as the oldest skydiver to ever live. But against all odds, Blaschke survived long enough to see his record broken by a Swedish woman, a broad of 103 years, 259 days old, with the beautiful name of Ruth Lena Ingrid Larsson. But Al didn't hear, I had to scroll through some ads, but Al didn't hear no bell go towards the light. Still kicking at the age of 106 years, 327 days old, which is more than 3 years older than Rutt at the time of her record-breaking jump. Blaschke shattered the record and reclaimed his spot at the top of the old person skydiving world. Unfortunately, I can't seem to confirm whether Rutt Larson is still kicking. I'd love to see her come for her rival Al one more time. If Rutt can manage to hang on to life for another 2 to 3 years and surpasses 106 years of age, then perhaps she'll wear the crown one more time. What a story that would be. Fingers crossed we'll be watching Rutt fall from the sky yet again sometime in 2027. I thought the story was semi-amusing in its own right. It's funny to me that the Guinness World Records for oldest skydiver is so heavily contested, but the battle between Alf and Rutt isn't even the most interesting part of the story. As a matter of fact, there's a third skydiver, a woman who goes by the name of Dorothy Hoffner. Dorothy Hoffner, by all accounts, appears to have taken a brief hold of the record at 104 years old in October of last year. But strangely, the article published by the official Guinness World Records website, there's not a single mention of Dorothy. According to Guinness, Blaschke set the record in 2020, Rutt overtook him in 2022, and Rutt held that record until earlier this week when Blaschke completed the jump at 106.
You hear of old people. You rarely hear of old, bold people. Ooh. These guys are my heroes.
Sometimes they got a mouth on them.
They don't care. They don't care. It's good stuff.
That's great.
106.
I wonder if they have ever ripped their parachute with their non-dominant hand.
Right. Well, I think they're tandem jumping, so.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe both. Maybe both. There you go. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll be joined by Brad Law, the Director of Broadcast Operations for the Auburn Sports Radio Network. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Well, good morning, Coach. This is Bubba. How you doing?
Bubba. Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. How you doing? You sound a little down, Bubba.
Oh, I'm up, man. I'm up because I avoided what old number, what's his number, 45? He's having a little trouble up there in New York City. Now they're talking about how he doesn't sleep in the same room as his wife. Well, hell, I don't even sleep in the same house as my wife.
Weekday morning, 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Tuesday. A mixture of some clouds and possible thunderstorms the remainder of the day with a moderate breeze coming out of the south around 15 miles per hour and look for it to be 78. Tonight, there will be a variety of some clouds and a possibility of thunderstorms with a temperature reaching 76. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 81. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials, Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus, live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive, across from the Navy base.
It's time for a new kitchen from Kitchen Designs. Kitchen Designs in Panama City Beach and Santa Rosa Beach offers full-service cabinets, countertops, and flooring, plus cash and carry cabinets available the very next day. Kitchen Designs has been family-owned and operated for over 20 years. Visit their showroom at 7934 Front Beach Road and on Lynn Drive in Santa Rosa Beach. Or call Kitchen Designs, 850-775-4150.
For the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley.
This man is destroying golf.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
You may be right, but our ratings are up and we're attracting new youthful sponsors.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We're joined, as we are every other Tuesday at 12:20, by our good friend, the Director of Broadcast Operations for the Auburn Sports Radio Network, and that is Brad Law. Brad, how are you on this little stormy Tuesday down here for us, but looks like the weather up there is getting a little better. You there, Brad?
Hey, I'm here, yep.
There you are. There you are. Sorry about that.
There we are.
How are you doing today?
We're doing great. How are you?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. It's been an interesting show, as it always is here on the Inside Drive. But we're going to start off on one of Jay's main topics there. Jay, what sport you think we're going to start with?
I mean, Auburn has a lot going on right now. A lot of good stuff.
They got a lot of good stuff. What sport are we going to start with?
I think we're going to start with golf.
We are going to start with golf, and we'll start first with the women's golf team, as they have punched their ticket to head to the national championship out there at the Omni Resort in Carlsbad, California, where a lot of the major manufacturers are. But I want to ask Brad about how that was obviously up there at the Auburn University Club last week. Was the conditions, the weather conditions, pretty tough? I know out of all the regionals, the scoring seemed to be one of the higher scoring regionals for some really good teams in the field.
Yeah, guys, weather was actually fine. It was beautiful. That course just plays difficult, and it's one of the hard. I mean, we have 4 or 5 really high-level courses in Auburn. It's one of the things I think we talked last time that makes this area fairly easy to recruit to when it comes to golf, both men's and women's, and it is a golf destination for people from other parts of the Southeast, just the cities of Auburn, Opelika in general. Yeah. So, it plays the toughest. And I think the goal, the folks at the Auburn University Club, folks who run the course, would be to host a national championship in the not too distant future. And so it was this way with the men a couple of years ago when they hosted a regional, and it was that way for the women last week. You look everywhere else around the country, and there's their scores double digits under par, and you're lucky to finish under par at Auburn University Club. So it is the weather was great. The course just plays tough, and Auburn won it. And they're getting ready now, like you mentioned, for the national championship.
Heading out there to what is a grind of a national championship. But as we were talking, I was looking at some of the individual scores, and Anna Davis from Auburn looks like she was the medalist, winning the Auburn regional with a great 3-day total of -5 to 11. But I was looking at the girl from Minnesota, Isabel McCauley. Looks like she was in there participating as an individual and shot 65 on that final round, 7 under par. That's kind of bucking the system there a little bit when everything's playing so hard. That's a heck of a round by her.
That's a great day, too. And I don't know if she started on the back nine. Back nine plays a little tougher than the front nine. So I don't know if she just, like anything else, you get in the zone and you can have yourself a great day. I wouldn't know. I mean, that's a 9-hole score for me, not an 18.
I understand that one all too well. That's some good stuff up there.
Brad, do you watch a lot of golf in your free time?
No, not much. No. Just because it's a function of not having a lot of free time. And free time that we get typically on a Sunday outside of baseball season, you're trying to make up for whatever you missed on a Friday or Saturday during the year. So, not a ton. I will watch I'll watch the majors, and I will follow our teams on the. Obviously on the college circuit, and especially when it comes to postseason play, and try to keep up with what they're doing throughout the year, but not a ton. And I play even less than I watch.
Do you like to see them struggle out there, or do you like to see these high 25 under finishes?
It doesn't matter to me, truthfully. Yeah. It is a course where one person is running away from everybody else is not exciting, or a tournament where one person runs away and hides from everybody else is not interesting to me, and I don't think it's interesting to most people. I don't. I watch it for, and this will show you what little or how little I watch, because it's the way that I watch. I want there to be some conflict, some tension. I want it to be close coming down the stretch. And players, it's more compelling if a player is under pressure coming down the stretch.
Yeah.
So, a 5-stroke lead with 9 to go is not interesting, and I typically won't tune out. If I'm going to tune in the first place, I'll kind of tune out if it's at that point.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like any sport. You kind of want that parity and excitement coming down to the wire. But the ladies will be heading out to the, as I mentioned, the Omni La Costa Resort and Spa in Carlsbad, California. National Championship play will get underway May 17th, and that'll start with 54 holes, Jay, of stroke play, and then they'll have one more round to cut it down to the 8 teams. So they'll have a cut of the 30 teams down to 8 to compete in that last one to determine an individual national championship, but also to set that 8-team match play bracket. This is the last 3 years. It was out there at Greyhawk Country Club in Arizona, so first time being played out there in Omni. So if anything could be level as far as the course is concerned, I think for both the men and the women this year, this could be the one that gives everybody the fairest shot, so to speak. And speaking of the men's side of things, as we mentioned a couple weeks ago, they are over there in Baton Rouge at the University Club being hosted by LSU. And I've got to assume that yesterday, given all the rain and everything that came through early in the morning and then the wave that came through again early this morning, that they had some rough weather out there yesterday, and I think play was suspended. But they got the whole first round in, and currently Auburn is 3 under par through holes 12 through 16. And Virginia and Auburn seem to be building a pretty large gap between the third place teams of Texas Tech and Ohio State. So obviously Auburn, number one team in the country, looking to make another shot and make another run at the national championship.
And they started the day 5 games out of first place. They are one of just a couple, and you can see, I think you're probably looking at the same leaderboard I am. Auburn and Texas Tech are the only teams to shoot even par today. Everybody else in Baton Rouge is over par, and so as a result, and Virginia's 5 over. They have slid once they have gotten to the back 9. They've not fared well. So now, having said that, it looks like a couple of their guys just birdied. And so they are 5 under and 3 over for the day, 5 under overall. They have taken a 2-stroke lead again. Auburn and Virginia were tied there for a hole, but it looks like they've now taken the advantage. It is going to be these 2 teams, I think, coming down the stretch today and tomorrow, and then that's it. After those 3 days, stroke play is over. The cut line right now is LSU in 6th place at 7 over. Duke is at 5 over, so Auburn with an 8-stroke advantage there, Virginia 10. You're not totally comfortable with that, but you are in a good position.
Yeah, absolutely. But that position certainly better than the opposite. But like you said, I mean, it can, you know, when you're counting 4 out of 5, you know, a couple birdies by 2 people and a couple bogeys by 2 people can, you know, you can have a quick swing real fast. But Auburn getting themselves a good buffer with Virginia, and you've got 2 Auburn players on the individual side of things, both inside the top 10, one of them being the true freshman Jackson Coivin, and then Josiah Gilbert, both at 2 under par for the tournament, even on their rounds today. So good showing. And then you have Brendan Valdez, who's also inside the top 15 at even par for the event. Only 14 total players right now under par, Jay, over there in Baton Rouge at the University Club. So we'll keep you guys updated throughout the week with the national championship bid on the line. Postseason in golf is such a brutal grind to make it all the way to that final match, and hopefully Auburn can continue the success that they've had this year on the golf side and maintain that number 1 all the way through. That would certainly be exciting for Auburn Nation down here in the Panhandle. That is for sure. All right, Brad, we will switch over to the ball sports, which are some of Jay's favorite there. And I know baseball, we'll kind of breeze over that quick. Ended up not having a lot of expectations going into the season. I think they're one of 2 teams that aren't playing in the SEC tournament coming up next week.
Yep, that's correct. And I'll tell you, I don't have an explanation for it, because this is the same team. Like a lot of teams that struggle in conference also struggle out of conference. And, you know, their overall record is 6 or 7 games below 500. And that's not where this team is. They're 6-21 in the league, but they're 19-4 outside the conference. And that includes a home-and-home sweep of Georgia Tech. It includes a win over Iowa, which has the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year. And they beat them on a Friday night, so they beat that guy. They beat their ace. They're 3-1 against power conference teams outside of the league. They, took both games from UAB and Troy, and they were really good out of conference. But in the league, they've had 8 one-run losses and another 2-run loss. Reminds me a lot of 2021 before they really settled on a closer and really had a guy emerge to take that role. And, they've had some injuries and things like that, but those are sort of excuses when you get to this level. But, yeah, they won't. It'll be the first time in a while that Auburn does not go to the SEC tournament.
Hey, and that may just be a testament to how tough and deep the SEC is as a whole in baseball.
There's no question, and only going to get deeper with Texas coming in, and by the way, Oklahoma, who won the Big 12 regular season championship this year. So it's kind of a new day too. I know y'all talk about this a lot, but in college athletics, to build your roster now, you have to balance making a commitment to your high school recruits and developing them along the way. But you're going to have to recruit those guys twice, because if they have any measure of success their freshman, sophomore years, programs who are going to spend big money are going to try to poach them.
Yep.
And so you yourself, to get the top talent to compete week in and week out, are going to have to poach guys from other teams. Are you comfortable doing that? Do you have the stomach for that? Does the fan base have the stomach for that? And you'll find out whether it's Florida or Auburn or any other team in the league that has not had the success that they wanted this year. You have the stomach to do what you have to do in athletics now to build a roster that can compete.
That's exactly right, and I think that's why, we obviously talk a lot of Florida State here being, just down the road from Tallahassee, but I think that's where Florida State has been so successful this year in baseball. Their first year last year with Link Jarrett, and they didn't have a great year, and then they hit that transfer portal hard in the offseason, and now they're playing fantastic, top 10 team in the country. So it's such a double-edged sword, because like you said, if you have the stomach to play the game that you have to play nowadays to be successful in college athletics, do you put that ahead of what your morals and other things may be? But you can go from being a not so great team to a really, really good team depending on how well. But I just think it's eventually going to bleed down to high school athletics, and JUCO ball too is such a big place where Division I programs get players from for various different reasons. Even that you might see some of that start to hurt because of the transfer portal.
Yeah, I mean, we're absolutely in the. I know it's a cliche, but we're in the Wild Wild West right now,
No
and
doubt.
it won't always be this way. There has, the ball is spinning too out of control to stay that way. There have to be some regulations, and there will be, but until then, it's not going to be this way. I look at Jay Johnson, the coach at LSU, came in, and I actually didn't realize that, they immediately started bringing guys in out of the portal. Now, Jay Johnson was they went to the College World Series his last year at Arizona, and in his first year at Arizona, they were the national champion runners-up.
Yep.
So, he's the guy who's had first-year success. He comes in at LSU, they win 17 conference games. And in the offseason, they had Paul Skeens, and they already had a couple of upperclassmen who were very good. They win 19 games in the league. They win the College World Series championship last year, and this year they're 7-14 in SEC play. So even going out and adding guys through the portal, half the teams you play in the league are transfer from this school, transfer from that school. It's not a guarantee of success. You still, whether it's a high school guy, JUCO guy, power conference guy, non-power conference guy, and it's true in softball, it's true in any of these other women's basketball, half your roster every year is going to be made up of transfers, the way we have it now. It is still about finding cohesiveness and chemistry, players, guys, gals who want to be coached, who will be coached, who take the coaching. That's still a factor. It's not just about stockpiling talent. We'll find that out in football at Ohio State this year. Ohio State they have backed up the Brinks truck in NIL promises to these guys, and they've assembled a college football all-star team. So we'll find out if that's all it takes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's a balance between talent but playing as a team and being cohesive, and that doesn't always work. Jay, who did Arizona lose to when they were national championship runner-up that Brad just mentioned?
Oklahoma?
No, come on, this is easy.
Auburn.
No.
I have no idea.
Coastal Carolina.
Oh, okay.
My alma mater.
Yeah,
the Chanticleer is Gary Gilmore retiring this year. Come on now. But yes, anyway, I want to pivot to a team that's still alive in the ball sport, and that is the Auburn softball team. I know they have a regional coming up, and if you're a big Auburn fan, it's just a small trip down the road. Brad, tell everybody listening where they're playing their regional and who they're starting out with.
They are going back to Tallahassee. I think it's the third time in the last 6 years that softball has gone to Tallahassee. It was a favorite place for the NCAA to send baseball for a lot of years, back before we were hosting regionals here, and they were every year. So we've just kind of continued that tradition. It is close. There should be a good Auburn contingency there. Love the ballpark. I was there 6 years ago, I think, when softball was there for a regional, and they're going to start with UCF. So they start with UCF Friday afternoon, and then hope to, in all likelihood, get Florida State in that second game. And good memories. Good in Tallahassee. We love coming to Tallahassee, and I talk like I'm making the trip. I'm not making the trip, but I know Auburn people enjoy going to, or should enjoy going to Tallahassee for all the reasons you just mentioned. Quick trip, familiar place. We ought to know the spots to hit by now, and it's a chance to win a championship, so you celebrate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Heading over there to Auburn versus UCF. I think is 2 p.m. might be Eastern time. It doesn't say on the NCAA website, but it'll be on ESPNU as well. But good luck to the Auburn women's team. I know they had a one and done in the SEC tournament, but a great regular season to get them landed in that Tallahassee regional. We won't even talk about football today, Brad. We'll save that for in a couple weeks when we're joined by you again. And speaking of that transfer portal, Hugh Freeze seems to be having a good time in that and getting some good true freshmen in there as well. So the Freeze era is well underway, but we'll dive into that in a couple weeks. And we appreciate your time as always here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Sounds great, guys. War Eagle, have a great day.
War Eagle. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay will continue scratching his mustache when we get back.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, Ellis Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging. Strike 3.
At Panama City Toyota, summer starts now. And you'll get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on a new Camry. Get 2.99% on the fun-to-drive Corolla. Stand out and get 2.99% on a new RAV4. Or go bold and get 2.99% on the Tough Tundra. Celebrate summer with a great deal from Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires June 3rd. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
That boot store reminds you to thank a veteran this Memorial Day. Without the many sacrifices of our military, we could not enjoy the freedoms we realize today. And remember, that boot store carries a wide selection of name brand Western wear and work clothing like Carhartt work clothes that will make the perfect gift for that veteran at an affordable price. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burke, 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store where God is good all the time.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions, your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, no rush getting back to this segment.
Oh, I'm here.
No,
I'm
you're
here.
good. You're good.
Half
You're
here.
good. Yeah, half here. Absolutely. Absolutely. God, there's so much to talk about right now, and I've got to skip over a lot of different things. I tell you what, David has been on one today behind the glass.
He
There's
has.
no doubt about it, but I think it's good for our energy and good for everything going on. Obviously, a lot of NFL contracts, the schedule, some more things have been released, and there's a couple more. They've released one more, I think the next Thursday night game since we've been on the show, and I forget who that is, and it's not in this particular article. But did you see the first Monday Night Football game was released earlier today?
I did not see
I know
that.
you didn't. And it's going to be the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Jets hosting Aaron Rodgers out there in the Bay.
All right.
You
going?
Yeah, I'm going to make the trip all the way across the country. Absolutely. See, this is what happens, Jay, when you delay getting in here. My whole screen just goes white.
Oh, no.
So, nope, we're not talking about what you wanted to talk about.
Hit escape.
Yeah.
Control, Alt, Delete.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I have all these. I think what happened is that these tabs have been up for a while.
I
haven't,
got you.
restarted my computer for real.
You want to use my laptop?
Yeah, I mean, somebody should.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys,
No, it's okay. It's
Cleveland
okay.
Browns is
That's the
September
one.
8th.
That's the
Tom
one.
Brady making his debut right there, unless he gets signed to a team before then.
Yeah,
which,
unless he's playing for the Raiders when the season starts.
dude, did you? This is actually from like UFC 278, so this is like 13 months ago. But Gronk had they had like the Gronk cast going on for the UFC fights, and they had Dana White on, and he was talking about that time where Tom Brady and Gronk were supposed to become Raiders, and John Gruden just woke up one day and was like, "Yeah, no, I don't want to do it." Like, could you imagine?
Gruden.
Oh, had Gruden had Brady and Gronk, like, that team, that would have been fun. I mean, the Bucks won the Super Bowl. Would have you been able to do it out of the AFC? I don't know, but you would like to think so.
Yeah. So just to recap, my computer came back alive.
Hey.
The Ravens and the Chiefs, which we talked about yesterday, that's the first game of the season, September 5th, NBC/Peacock, 7 p.m. kickoff there. And then the Packers and the Eagles will be in Sao Paulo, Brazil for week 1 as well. As David just mentioned, the Cowboys and the Browns on September 8th. That's going to be Tom Brady's debut as a color commentator for Fox. Week 2, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the game that they just announced. And as I mentioned, week 1, the first Monday Night Football game of the season is going to be September 9th, where the Jets travel over there. Will Aaron Rodgers last more than a series? That's the real question.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll say more than a series.
I would hope so. That would just be
You think that's going to be a big time bet?
if he.
Yeah, like, will he last more than a series?
Yeah, I could see that being the case. I mean,
like minus 20 million odds.
You would think so, right? Because that's such a fluke thing, and they're just playing off of what happened last year. But yeah, no, I don't know. I want to talk real quick, Jay, about something baseball wise, and it's kind of a trend that maybe you can shed some light on. But this is an article by The Athletic with Jason Stark and Ken Rosenthal. Can MLB save the starting pitcher? The search for solutions on baseball's existential crisis. And what is that crisis, Jay? That is starting pitchers are lasting nowhere near as long as they used to. Actually, as of kind of going into that COVID year, and this year's only gone a little bit, but basically right now where we're at is 40% of the starting pitchers are going pitching 6 or more innings, whereas if you go back to 2011 when it was peaking, not peaking, was at 65.7%. So, there's a couple ideas to get it out there, but it's one of the things too we talk about with the youth and pitch counts and all those things. And I was learning, there's apparently rules for everything. And I was looking at Baseball America and high school pitch counts. They vary by state. He's back there. I can't with him today. Usually it's you, but it's him.
It's
today.
David today.
Yeah.
I'm rubbing off on him.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
So do you know what the rule is for? And this is maybe the starting pitcher thing. I don't know if it's an arm thing or just baseball has changed so much and what the issue is. Like, they're trying to get him to start longer, I guess is what they're saying. It's dropped down drastically, like more than 20% over the last 10 plus years or so. But in Florida, for high school, pitchers can go, a maximum pitches in a game is 105. Connecticut's got no limit.
It's
Huh.
It's
Send your kids to Connecticut.
Yeah. Idaho, it's not even a sanctioned sport.
No way.
Yeah.
Baseball?
Yeah.
That's
How do
America's
they get
pastime.
umpires?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got potatoes back there.
That's it. A bunch of spuds. 120 pitches in
Spudly.
Mississippi. I'm trying to find the long. 110 in
For the week?
Nebraska.
For the week?
No, this is per start.
Huh.
And
That's
then
a lot.
New Hampshire's got 120. 125 in Ohio. Anyway, I'm going to get back to Florida. Florida is basically, and then it says days of rest. If you pitch, looks like 31 to 45 pitches, you have to have 1 day of rest. 46 to 60 pitches, you have to have 2 days of rest. And 31 to 75 pitches, you have to have 3 days of rest. And then 76 plus, you have to have 4 days of rest.
I think the amount that you rest is more important than the actual amount of pitches that you're throwing whenever you are throwing.
Yeah.
They should do as much as they can to save these youngins' arms. But also on the flip side of that, how does your arm build up to get to that level of what they like? Could the adverse effect of the pitch counts be directly correlated to what it is that we're seeing in Major League Baseball, where you know the guys can't go as long anymore because their arms have been trained to only go a certain distance?
That's a great point.
And it's technique. I mean, isn't anything in all sports, baseball, basketball, golf, you're trying to use your larger muscles. When you're 8, 9, 10 years old, you don't have large muscles. You're using your wrist, your arms, your whatever.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I was bodybuilding.
It's that bird chest.
Yeah, that bird chest. But
I got to do something with my computer. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a good point. And I like what you said about it's having the adverse reaction because they're not pitching as much now growing up. So maybe they're not as apt to be able to go as long. But injuries are also on the rise as well. And you're just, some of the things that they were talking about in the article were like, can you come up with some things to, you can't bring in a relief pitcher until the 6th inning or something along those lines. Then it starts getting kind of dicey. But
then you're almost like begging for injury at that point, because if you throw 80 pitches in the first 2 innings, like, you should be able to pull your pitcher. If we're getting bamboozled out here 10-0.
Yeah, I think you'd have to have some caveats on that. That's for sure. That's for sure.
What about locally, though? Because I know you're in the youth baseball world. What
I think they can do, and this is 10U, so that's not anywhere near close to the rest of this, but I think they can do 85 pitches a week is what they can throw in a whole week.
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, we don't really, not our team anyway, we don't really see that, but.
Well, I'm just trying to say that's where it all begins. Like, once you get to the MLB, it's not an MLB problem, in my opinion. It's like a 10U problem.
A developmental problem.
Yeah. That's just my thought on it.
And speaking of high school baseball, what's coming on tonight, Jay?
Arnold South Walton.
Where's it going to be at?
Public Sports
Park. Field 2, first pitch at 7 p.m. Can the Arnold Marlins head to the Final Four and beat South Walton, the team that beat them in the district final that made them travel to Santa Fe there? I don't know. Can they?
The Marlins can do it.
Can they?
They can.
You can go check it out. What do you got?
It's going to be Cooper or Eli on the mound tonight?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know where it stands with the rotation, the pitch count, and all that stuff. But that's, as a baseball coach, that's something you really got to pay attention to as well.
Oh, yeah.
Especially as you get into same thing with Major League and college. It's the same thing. They got all these rules, and, you got to pay attention to that.
That's
and
right.
that could cost you or, win you games, depending on how that pitcher's doing.
Absolutely.
Coop seems like he's about to be like the Cags of Florida.
Absolutely.
Because, they get into a big moment. He uses the stick to put them on top or, even them out there. And then he comes in and closes down the game as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun keeping up with. And Trey Powers over there, Flitcraft, I believe, over there, Bozeman. I mean, we've got some studs right now playing here in Panama City. And Bozeman and Arnold, man, playing great baseball right now.
And Bozeman's already punched their ticket to the Final Four, and Arnold's trying to do the same thing. South Walton may be able to do it as well. But I want to give a quick update as well on the where Florida State currently stands on the men's golf side of things. They are, which regional they are? They are in the Stanford Regional. That is all the way out there in the Pacific. And they're still looking pretty good. They're minus 17 through their second round today through holes 5 through 9. They shot 13 under par yesterday, 4 under par today, trailing Illinois by 5 strokes at minus 22. Texas A&M is at 13 under par. Ole Miss 11 under par, and Stanford holding down that 5th spot at 9 under par, with ULV being 4 strokes out of making it. Again, they play 3 rounds, top 5 teams move on to the national championship. Jay.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing mighty fine. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Mighty
You know
fine.
who's not doing mighty fine? Do you remember the name Jimmy Dunn?
It's a little bit.
He was instrumental in. He came on with the PGA Tour, and he's who met with Yasir Al Ramayan, the governor. He's the one in charge of the PIF, and he was the guy that was brought in. When Monahan was going through all that nonsense to kind of get this merger going, get this. Well, you know what happened yesterday?
He gone.
He resigned. And he cited no meaningful process in the PGA Tour PIF workings. We've been kind of talking about that. I've been saying it ever since they got that investment from SSG that the PGA Tour thinks that they can last this year without any other stuff. And I think they're now showing that they're going full steam with that. But you've got some interesting things with Rory McIlroy. He was not on. He left the board, and then he was trying to get back on, and then all this stuff. And they just announced too that Rory is getting divorced from his wife Erica. They filed for divorce leading up to the PGA Championship.
He's headed to the Live Tour, brother.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already going through one divorce, so he's going to go through another divorce.
Well, and he gets this one done before he takes any Live money.
Oh,
just make sure
Smart
that those
man.
papers are, like the ink is dry.
Yeah.
Just before he goes to Live.
No whiteout.
No, yeah.
But we've joked about this, and there's been rumors about Rory going to the Live and all that stuff. I mean, he's pretty much exempt from every major anyway, and would be for a while. Do you think he would ever make that move?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that we're diving a little deeper into his personal life, and
he just won.
Yeah.
Admits, he's putting a little Tiger Woods action there and winning when his personal life is going a little haywire. But see, do you give him a shot winning the PGA Championship this week coming up?
The signs of a true great golfer.
Yes.
There you go.
Trouble at home.
Not this week.
No.
It's too fresh.
Too fresh.
Yeah,
we won last week, and it was apparently real fresh.
Well,
It did just come up.
This is a major, though.
Yeah,
It's a major.
It's a major. Yeah. So we'll see. But he goes to Live by the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
Yeah.
You heard it here first on the Inside Drive. Jay Henley has completely changed his tune, just like Jay Monahan, and said Rory is going to the better tour, to the Live. He did use the word better, I heard it.
There you go.
Now, I don't put words in my mouth now. I didn't say better.
He's just reiterating what
I was born at night. It was not last night.
I think it's interesting, though, what he's going to end up doing. Does he have better conversations now with some of the other Live Tour players? And they're like, man, this is pretty sweet, bro. Like, they're talking about trades. Like, we're making our own little golf empire over here. You're over there with the has-beens. Come on over here to the have-alls.
Well,
now.
And I like your perspective, because you're a little outside of that, and you haven't been watching. You haven't been watching the PGA Tour since you were little. But Live just seems to continue to, with the owning of golf courses potentially, and trying to get more players and kind of pushing the needle. PGA Championship invites more. I think they've got 15 players playing in the PGA. They seem to continue to try to find innovation. Mm-hmm. The PGA Tour is, it's got money, but the ratings are down and things are interesting.
Are any of these other golfers wearing their team shirts when they're coming over to majors?
No, they're not on
just
teams.
the Live Tour.
Bunch of losers.
Hey, right. I mean, you get team golf. Next thing you know, Liv's going to break out. Instead of having like playoff holes, it's just going to be a playoff putt-putt hole.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro, they're
pro-ams.
And then, why Tiger Woods isn't a part of the Live Tour? Obviously, he's got so much money, he doesn't know what to do with it all, right? And then makes a new clothing brand, and Sunday Red, all that good stuff. But that whole format seems to line up a lot better for a guy who's dealing with injuries than 72 holes, 4 day,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
You would think.
I think
he could get Charlie coming over to the Live Tour.
Hey.
Over and done with.
Yeah.
And I think Happy Gilmore too. When that comes to theaters, I think that's when everything unveils its head, if you will.
What's unveiling?
I love that timeline.
Yeah, they live the kind of this whole thing.
That Rory goes to the Live Tour?
Yeah.
Same day as Happy Gilmore 2 comes out?
Yep.
Adam Sandler just fixing the world of golf.
That's it. That's it. Leave it up to him and his big basketball shorts.
One hole at a time.
That's
One hole at a time.
Unless you're doing the 3-hole challenge.
That's right.
That's gone and past.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
Jay, you want to leave people with any final notes on this beautiful Tuesday? Yeah, we'll dive into that next week.
I don't know. I mean, hopefully the sun's out.
Sun's out, guns out?
Yeah. If the sun's out, go enjoy.
Don't forget, Arnold and South Walton is at Publix Sports Park. All right, real quick, Jay. Who do you got? Pacers, Knicks?
Pacers.
T-Wolves, Nuggets?
T-Wolves.
All right. NHL side, I should know this off the top of my head. Bruins, Panthers?
Oh, Panthers.
Canucks, Oilers?
Let's go, Oilers.
All right.
Yep.
I just wanted you to say that out loud so I could just go back and listen to it before I make my picks.
Okay.
The Crystal Puck and the Crystal NBA Ball. Don't forget, coming up this afternoon, the Afternoon Underdogs at 4 p.m. We'll be back live tomorrow. Good luck to Arnold and South Walton as they compete for a chance to head to the Final Four. You're listening to Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating our 7-year anniversary on June 26th.
Gotta be a curtain call right here.
You made us the #1 destination on the Panhandle for live and local sports talk, high school, college football, the NFL, and the Atlanta Braves.
Way on back it goes. That's torched.
And to thank you for helping us reach this milestone, we're giving away more tickets to the Atlanta Braves this season than ever before. Keep listening for details from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is